still not avoiding the problems on the steep uphills. You always get this concertina effect when you come from a downhill to a steep uphill, and I think that was probably part of the problem.
I think going very wide on our right, his left, it was, yes, Simon Fourcade. He jumped around everybody there to get first slot into the range.
Anton Shapulin is the Russian at the front of the pack at the moment. You can just see him on the right of your screen, wearing bib number 5. He took the bronze medal in the pursuit, Russia's only medal so far. Norway, I think, will be happy to see that all their men are in the leading 8. And we'll get some name checks in a moment. It's Martin Fourcade who leads the way down towards the stadium. Over the footbridge they go, and the men at the front have been in total control so far. Two mass starts so far this season. Birnbacher of Germany won the first in Pachuca, and Martin Fourcade won the second in Ruhpolding in some style. That was perhaps the race of the season so far as Fourcade is concerned, and he's really put the pace on coming in for the first shoot. What's he trying to do here, Mike?
Well, I find that very surprising. He's sprinting into the range, Patrick. It's a different strategy. He does like to settle for longer than anyone on the mat, so maybe he's trying to get 3 seconds ahead of the rest of them. I'm not sure that's going to pay off.
We'll see. We'll see. I think he's probably trying to get the rest of the athletes thinking, and that certainly will have worked. Svensson didn't take the bait, and he's just settled. He'll go into lane number 1, Svensson.
At 2 kilometres, some of the athletes, Schemp as far back as 55, Bauer 53, they were involved with some falling on the track.
Now the wind, Mike, in lanes 1 through to 10 is blowing towards the athletes. And we're still missing Tim Burke, who took the fall, so he has lost some 20 seconds as a result of that. Now let's see how the shooting's going. Svensson takes a long time to get the first target down. Landetinger of Austria is the first man to clear. 5. Remember, a penalty loop for a miss. No minute added. Shapulin, Fack, Fourcade, Svensson all go clear, and Tim Burke is left on lane number 3. And not the best start for the man who took the silver medal in the individual. That's really, really disappointing for Tim, but he's got a long way to go, and plenty of opportunities will come his way. Bjorn Ferry goes clear, Mike, a man who's performed well in these head-to-heads over the years.
Bjorn Ferry loves this type of racing. He so often shoots so well. 19 is a bad day for him in this style of racing. Bjorn Dahlen, I noticed, missed 1.
Good grouping essentially from Svensson. That last one a little low right, but he'll get some tips. The Norwegians have a lot of coaches out on the course, so he'll be shown exactly where his shots have gone, and then it will be up to him whether he wants to change the sights for the second shoot. Welcome back to Nove Mesto. There is a group out front in the men's mass start, and just looking to see exactly how many men. 14 in that group, with Ole Einar Bjorndalen trying to close the gap between the second group and the leaders. Shooting results, Mike, those first 14 all going clear. Bjorndalen 1 miss. Arndt Pfeiffer went clear, but he's still dropped 22 seconds, so I suspect he might have been involved in that tangle up on the first lap.
That tangle has caught, or the falls have certainly cost the athletes involved. They've cost them an awful lot. Lucas Hofer, who we saw without his ski pole, he's going to miss 3 targets. His rifle maybe taking an impact, and sadly for Tim Burke, he's missed 2. He's normally so much better for that at a 92% hit rate, so I just wonder if his rifle on that impact again has been affected.
Yeah, and Hofer, who's been shooting pretty well, he's got a 90% hit rate so far here in Nove Mesto. That's the worst shoot he's had, with 3 misses. Other big names: Malishko with 1 miss, Garanichev with 1 miss,
Lindström 21st position, 1 miss. Birnbacher as well. We thought he would, I certainly thought he'd go clear. Moravitz has gone clear. He's 11th at the moment.
So many of the big names are still there. It's Jakob Fack leading, the individual world champion from last year in Ruhpolding. Is he going to be able to add another title to his name? Of course, he's lost that individual title, but he'll be happy if he goes away with 1 medal, certainly.
These corners are tricky. You've got to have your wits about you. You have to be very, very ready to react should anything happen in front of you. And it is risky, right on the skis of another athlete, and on the S-bends especially.
Norway with Labelund and Svensson And of course Terje Bo up there as well. It'd be nice to see Terje Bo come through, Mike. The chances of that happening, I know the Norwegians, they're delighted that they've done so well. We've had we've had 10 events. They've won 8 gold medals. It's an unprecedented haul of gold, but even the Norwegian coach is saying we want to win gold, but we want someone else to win it.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of it's not lopsided. They're delighted, and of course Svensson and Tora Berger are delighted for the team as well. But I think that the Norwegian staff would like Bjørndalen or Bø, Labe Lund to get on the podium as well, share the medal load.
Well, I think for the Norwegians it would be a great story if Bjørndalen came through to win a gold at 39. But for the Norwegians, I think it's more important that some of the youngsters, the Labe Lunds and the Terje Bo's, come through and claim titles. Bo has done it, of course, in Hjanti Manziski, was on very good form. Labe Lund, it would do him a power of good to get on the podium today.
He has had a wonderful season, Labe Lund, and in a sense lucky to be brought in for the 20 kilometre where he finished 7th. And he shot 0:002, so he's got that stability. This is not quite the way normally the World Championships, the mass start unfolds. It's still pushing hard, it's still pushing fast at the front.
From 14 in that leading group, we have someone moving up on the outside. Mike, is that Svensson making a move again? There's Labe Lund in the middle of your picture. It is Svensson on the left-hand side of your screen, wanting to get right in behind Martin Fourcade. He doesn't want to let him out of his sight. Be interesting to see what Fourcade does on the entry to the range this time. His last effort did not put off Svensson in any way, shape or form.
Just looking for the first of the Germans. Well, certainly from after the shooting, of course, it was Arndt Pfeiffer, but 22 seconds down. We'll just try and get an update on that. Pfeiffer, Bernbacher and Schemp, the first of the Germans, in 14th and 15th position. Sorry, Pfeiffer in 12th, 17 seconds off. That's good.
Well, the bad news for the Russians is that Granichev and Malishko missed early on. But the good news is that Anton Shapulin went clean on that first shoot, so he was expected to be their best performer. He's still there with a very, very good chance of adding to the bronze medal that he took in the pursuit. Russia's only medal from these championships. Tikhonov, former superstar in terms of biathlon in its very early days, will not be happy with the way things have gone for Russia so far. Now, Fourcade again breaks clear from the pack as he comes in for shoot number 2. Again in the prone position. The wind this time looks to be blowing left to right, so there are changes. They'll need to be very, very aware of that.
Moravic's hands on the knees, just getting some recovery. We've never seen a strategy like that, Patrick, where you sprint into the range, but, well, Fourcade knows best.
I think you're absolutely right. It's buying him a few seconds of preparation time, which seems to have paid off in all the events so far in these championships.
He just likes that little extra settling time.
Just looking for Svensson's target. Svensson made a move early. Fourcade, he broke the position far too early. Shapulin's gone clear, so has Bo, and Labe Lund is clear, and now the tactics must change for the world number 1, who is on the chase. And time again we've seen here in Nove Mesto that chasing is brutally hard. Bjørndalen with a miss again. Beatrix, Lindström have gone clear. Good for Lindström of Sweden after that little tangle on the first lap. He seems to have settled into the race. Just looking for Svensson, Mike.
Svensson, he's just out. Of course, he missed one there. He's only 23 behind, but he's 19th position.
23 behind with 1 miss, and Martin Fourcade 19 behind with 1 miss. So the 2 big men are still neck and neck. Bjørndalen 33 behind. A bit more work to do now on this third lap, and this is where it's going to start to hurt.
Look at the breathing on Moravec. He's gasping for air. A couple of big breaths. It was the first shot, then just one big breaths in between each shot.
So Norway have both Labe Lund and Terje Bo up the front. The Czechs are celebrating because their man Ondrej Moravec has hit 2 out of 2, and he's very, very quick, Moravec. He's at the back of this pack at the moment. Jakub Fak's still there. He's looking dangerous, isn't he, Mike?
In fact, it's Bauer.
In fact, it's Clement Bauer who's come through. That's not quite such good news for the Slovenians, because Bauer really struggles with the standing targets. 10 men have shot the perfect score so far in this, the final race of the Biathlon World Championships. Bjorn Ferry is still up there for Sweden in that leading group. We have Moravec of the Czech Republic, Burf of France, Legelic of Canada, who won the first World Cup of the season, or the first sprint of the season in Östersund. What a race that was. Anton Shapulin flying the Russian flag, and there will be so much pressure on him when it comes to the final shoot if he's still in contention. Landetinger is the best of the Austrians. Clement Bauer has had a sensational race so far, but I still wouldn't put too much money on him finishing in the top three, because he's really struggled in the standing position this season. Terje Boe, Lau Bailey of USA and Henrik Labelund of Norway are the top three men coming out of the range. Things have changed a little as we come down towards the stadium for the third time.
The amazing thing, we're not quite half distance yet, and there's only, well, Fak is in 23rd position. He's only 39 seconds, so anything can turn around. Fak could still even win this, depending on what happens up the front and if he hits all the targets from now on.
Absolutely. A couple of French suits in the background might be telling you that Martin Fourcade is pushing the pace. He has worked hard. He's the man in the red and yellow bib as the World Cup leader and the discipline leader.
It's great to see Legelic in there as well. He's another one of those few that have shot 10 out of 10.
Martin Fourcade's had to work hard on this loop, Mike, but he'll be delighted that he's still the last of the four Frenchmen. Fancy that. You would have got good odds on that. Burf, Bithix and Simon Fourcade all ahead of him at the moment.
But the message, I think, Patrick, to the rest of the field here, including Svensson, is that even if Fourcade misses one target, he can pull that time back almost in the next 3 kilometres.
Yeah, but can he do it every time?
I don't think so.
I don't think